Assalamu alaikum and welcome everyone to another insightful conversation. I am Rafia Tariq Health Wali and today we will discuss a topic that can positively transform our daily lives, the impact of gratitude on mental health. Joining us today is Maya from Call Maya. Thank you for being here, Maya.
Walaikum assalam. It's such a pleasure to be back. Gratitude is one of those things that feels so simple on the surface, but it actually shifts the way your entire brain processes the world. I'm ready when you are. Where do you want to dive in first?
What does gratitude really mean and why is it important for mental health?
At its core, gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a conscious choice to notice and appreciate the things that are already working in your life instead of obsessing over what's missing. When it comes to mental health, it's like a workout for your brain. It forces you to pivot away from the negativity bias, that instinct to focus on the one bad thing that happened in a day, and trains you to spot the wins. It lowers stress and makes you feel more grounded because it reminds you that you're not just your problems. Do you think most people view it as a feeling that just happens to them or as a skill they can actually practice?
How does practicing gratitude affect our thoughts and emotions?
It basically rewires your internal narrative. When you start practicing it, you move from a state of scarcity where you're constantly thinking about what you're lacking to a state of abundance. Emotionally, it's like a release valve for stress. It's hard to start to feel intense anger or jealousy at the exact same time you're feeling genuine appreciation. It creates this buffer of positivity that makes the user more resilient when things actually do go wrong. Do you feel like that shift in thinking happens overnight, or is it more of a slow burn?
Can gratitude help reduce stress, anxiety, or negative thinking?
Oh, absolutely. It acts like a natural filter for the brain. When you're spiraling into anxiety or negative thoughts, gratitude forces a pattern break. You can't really dwell on a what if disaster and simultaneously focus on something you're genuinely thankful for. The two emotions just don't occupy the same space. It essentially pulls you out of that mental loop and brings you back to the present moment, which is where the stress loses its power. Do you think people struggle more with the anxiety of the future or the regrets of the past?
I think they should focus on future instead of regrets.
That makes a lot of sense. The future is a big, empty space, and it's way easier to fill it with what if nightmares than actual plans. It's a lot of pressure to figure everything out before it even happens. Do you think that pressure comes more from our own expectations or from what we see other people doing?
Okay, my next question is what does research says about the connection between gratitude and happiness?
The research is pretty conclusive on this one. It basically shows that gratitude is one of the most reliable shortcuts to happiness. There's this concept called the hedonic treadmill, where we get something new and we're happy for a bit, but then we just get used to it and want the next thing. Gratitude is the only thing that actually stops that treadmill because it forces us to appreciate what we already have instead of always chasing the next high. It really changes the baseline of how you feel. Do you think we're
How
just
can
conditioned to
gratitude
keep wanting more, or you're very welcome? Since we're on a roll with gratitude, did you want to keep diving into this, or is there another direction you want to take the conversation?
how can gratitude improve our relationships with family, friends, and colleagues?
It essentially acts as a social glue. When you're genuinely thankful for someone, it shifts the dynamic from transactional to relational. Instead of noticing what they're failing to do, you start noticing the value they bring to your life, and people can feel that. It makes them feel seen and appreciated, which usually makes them want to be even more supportive in return. Do you think it's harder to express gratitude to the people closest to you or to the people you work with?
Why do many people find it difficult to practice gratitude consistently?
Mm. I think it's mostly because our brains are basically wired for survival, not for happiness. We have this negativity bias where we're naturally tuned to notice threats or problems because that's what kept our ancestors alive. It's way more instinctive to spot the one thing that's going wrong than to notice the 10 things that are going right. Plus, in a world that's constantly telling us we're not enough or that we need the next big thing to be happy, gratitude can feel like it's fighting an uphill battle against a very loud culture of more. Do you think it's more of a mental block or just a habit we haven't built yet?
What are some simple daily habits people can use to develop a gratitude mindset?
The best way to start is by making it almost too easy to fail. I'd suggest something like a 3 item gratitude list before bed. Just 3 specific things from the day, no matter how small. A really good cup of coffee, a funny text, or even just a green light when you were running late. The more specific you are, the more your brain actually feels the emotion instead of just checking a box. Another one is gratitude prompts. Whenever you do something routine, like brushing your teeth or waiting for the elevator, use that as a trigger to think of one person you're thankful for. Do you think people prefer writing things down or just reflecting in their heads?
How does gratitude help us during challenging or difficult times?
It doesn't magically fix the problem, but it changes how you carry it. In a crisis, gratitude acts like a mental anchor. It reminds you that while this one part of your life is falling apart, there are still other pillars that are standing. It prevents the struggle from becoming your entire identity. So you don't feel like you're drowning in the darkness. You just feel like you're in a dark room with a few lights still on. Do you think that's a helpful way to look at it, or does it feel a bit too optimistic when things are actually bad?
Can keeping a gratitude journal make a noticeable difference in mental well being?
Huge difference. Writing it down does something that just thinking about it doesn't. It makes the thought tangible. It's like creating a physical record of evidence that your life is actually good, even on the days it doesn't feel like it. When you're having a rough week, you can look back at those entries and realize that the bad moments are just blips, not the whole story. Do you think that the act of physically writing helps a person slow down more than just thinking?
How can parents and teachers encourage gratitude in children and young adults?
It starts with modeling the behavior. Kids don't really listen to what we say, they watch what we actually do. If a parent or teacher is vocal about the things they're thankful for, even the small stuff, it normalizes the practice. I'd also suggest gratitude circles or shared family board, where everyone adds one win from their day. It turns gratitude into a collective experience rather than a chore. Do you think kids are naturally more grateful than adults? Or do you think we teach them to expect more as they grow up?
Is there a difference between being grateful and simply being positive?
Definitely. Positive thinking is often about looking forward, hoping things will work out, or trying to frame a future outcome in a good light. Gratitude, though, is rooted in the present. It's not about imagining a better tomorrow, it's about acknowledging the value of what's already here today. One is a strategy for hope, and the other is a practice of appreciation. Do you think one is more powerful than the other, or do they just work better together?
Before we conclude, Maya, what is the most important message you would like our audience to remember about gratitude and mental health?
I think the biggest takeaway is that gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about finding the light in the mess. It's a small, quiet practice, but over time, it's the thing that builds your resilience and makes you feel like you're on your own team. Just remember that you don't have to be perfectly grateful every second. Just noticing one small good thing a day is enough to start changing the narrative. Do you think that's a good note to end on?
Yes, thank you, Maya, for sharing these valuable insights about the impact of gratitude on mental health. Today's discussion reminds us that gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It is a powerful mindset that can improve our happiness, strengthen relationships, and help us navigate life challenges with greater resilience. And thank you to our audience for joining us. We hope this conversation inspires you to find moments of gratitude in your everyday life. Until next time, take care, stay positive, and keep growing. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. It was such a pleasure being part of this episode. I'm already looking forward to the next one.